yours.
Right, thank you. Good morning.
Do you happen to know if Miss Hamilton had breakfast this morning?
I know she didn't. Paul asked the same question in his usual fishing way.
Dear. Hope she doesn't think we're too mean to let her even have breakfast before she goes.
No, I think David made it perfectly clear that she could.
Oh, well, just pride then.
Oh, she's trying to get everything she possibly can out of Richard Lord.
Oh, Barbara, that's a bit hard.
Listen, she survived all over Europe. She knows her way around, that girl. Well, at least she isn't taking Richard for another walk.
No, she's not going on her usual walk this morning. She's going to try and find somewhere to live.
Perhaps, and perhaps not.
Well, I'll ask her when she comes back. And if she hasn't found anywhere, I could even ask her to come and stay with me at Chimneys.
Listen, I may sound hard, but are you going soft in the head?
Look, the object is to get her away from here to do less damage to Richard and Gina. So if she's only pretending to find somewhere, well, I will be calling her bluff.
And what if she accepts?
Then I'm going to be stuck.
Then don't do it.
Oh, it doesn't matter if she comes to Jimmy's, I can get rid of her. She's bound to try and sneak in some man after midnight, then I'll create.
She'll laugh at you.
Well, I might laugh with her, if he's a nice man.
True.
Private joke?
Yes, very.
Is David in?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Morning, Richard.
Morning, David.
J. Henry tells me he's put you on to examining the company rules and share structure.
Yes, I've had to tell him there's nothing in the rules to prevent Adam Chance coming and voting. There might be possibilities for action after he arrives in the share structure. I'm going over it with Mr. Pollard's lawyers.
Yes, well, I have some thoughts about the share structure myself.
Perhaps we can discuss them later.
We can discuss them now. Do sit down.
Look, David, I didn't come in to do that. I'm less concerned at the moment with the board's wish to get rid of Adam Chance than its wish to get rid of Lucy Hamilton.
Yes, I expected you to have some feelings about that. It's not something we relish doing.
Why are you doing it?
Occupational hazard of motels, people who run up too much.
I can't believe that you think Kate wouldn't settle her own daughter's bills if asked.
I'm not sure it's up to us to ask her. Her daughter could and hasn't.
It's because of me, isn't it?
Why say that?
Well, if I weren't here, it wouldn't have even crossed your mind to throw her out.
As J. Henry's representative, you have certain responsibilities in this motel, and I dislike saying this, but you have a right to know that Lucy has been, what shall I say?
Indiscreet with a member of the staff, Paul Ross.
I wasn't going to name names.
Yes, well, I don't know how much went on between them, but I do know that it was done for my benefit. You see, I'm the one that's responsible for her indiscretions.
Do you think it wise to resume a responsibility that ended so many years ago? And wouldn't Gina find it disturbing if she heard about it? And with Paul Ross watching your every move, she will hear about it.
She has, from me, by telephone. Perhaps she's heard more than you know. She understands the situation completely, and she agrees with me that I should stand surety for Lucy's account until Kate arrives back. When Kate does, either she will pay the bills or I will. Unless you'd prefer me to start paying them now.
Well, your word will be enough.
Then, we no longer need worry about Lucy, need we? Oh, there is one other point. I don't want anyone to know, except Barbara, of course, that I am paying those bills.
An arrangement like that can't be kept from the management. J. Henry, above all, want to know why Lucy is still here.
Oh, come on, David. Simply have to say that you've changed your mind about Lucy, and that you're convinced Kate will settle the account when Kate arrives back.
All right, Richard, on your head be it.
Hey, Mac.
Oh, hi. How are you? Everything okay?
Yeah, going like a bomb. Listen, I've been trying to get you all morning. Glenn told me about that phone call from Trina.
Oh, yeah, that was quite a surprise. There was old Muckins here already willing and eager to tie a yellow ribbon round the nearest tree, and what do I get?
So, what are you going to do?
What can I do? I mean, I don't know much about the law, but I know a guy is responsible for his wife and kids.
Have you got any idea how much that maintenance order's going to be?
Not a clue, but I will once her lawyers get hold of me.
If you wait for that, you're going to be in for a very nasty shock, mate. They're going to clobber you unless you act now.
Well, what do I do? You tell me. I'll start thinking.
Get a good solicitor for a start. Somebody like old Murray will fight for you.
Are you kidding? I couldn't afford Murray.
You'll have to. Go and see him, tell him what happened. I mean, she walked out on you, remember? You didn't desert her and Ben. You got to stand up for your rights, man.
Yeah.
And don't just say yeah and then do nothing. Get moving. Unless you do something, you're going to be keeping it for the rest of your life.
Well, what if anyway, if we were still together?
That's different, you know it. Young. You might meet a girl and get married again. Now you're going to be able to afford to do that with a maintenance order around your neck. And knowing Trina, she'll take you for every penny she can get. I'm serious, Mac.
Yeah, all right. I'll do something about it. Murray's prices.
Forget his prices. If he can get you through this, he'll be worth every penny.
Ah, that is the latest late lunch I think I've ever known you had. Who told you that I can do all our work single-handed?
Listen, next time you try and get through lunch with a cutlery rep inside 2 hours. He's a lecher.
Oh, did you notice if Lucy was eating in the restaurant?
No, she didn't turn up.
Yes. Oh, yes, send her in. She's turned up now.
Oh, and you're having her in? What about?
Stay and listen, both of you. Save me a lot of explaining later. Come in. Lucy, do sit down.
Thank you.
On reflection, I realize that I have been insensitive. Of course, we can depend on your mother to pay your bills in due course.
I've told you I'm not going to ask her to.
Well, then I rely on you to pay them in due course.
I don't understand.
I'm saying you're welcome to stay here.
I still don't understand.
I owe a lot to your mother in a personal sense. I'd like you to be here when she comes, which won't be long. After all, that's why you came yourself, to meet her again.
And to borrow from her. I mean, that's what you said when you came.
Barbara, please. I'm sorry if I was hasty. It must have been very unpleasant for you.
Look, if you don't want to stay here, you could always come and stay with me at Chimneys.
I think I might turn out to be a bad influence on you. We youngsters are freer and easier than you were brought up to be. Thank you, David. Since you put it so nicely, I shall be glad to oblige you by staying.
Well, I trust you have an explanation, however flimsy.
No.
Well, I'm glad that I've got a staffing problem to discuss with Mr. Ross. Compared with you, he's a man who does know what he's doing.
I rely on you to help me keep faith with Richard.
Richard is meeting her bills.
Standing surety. And I hope you realize nobody else must be told.
Lucy won't need to be told. She realized it was something like that, while you thought you were bluffing her. You know, this place is full of men who shouldn't be allowed out without a very old nanny.
Oh, the trouble is, Barbara, there's no one in the place who looks like a very old nanny. Least of all yourself.
Thank you, darling. You know, if you spent more of your talent for flattery on repairing your memory...
Don't you think it's time you told me what it is I've forgotten?
There's not much point now. You've forgotten for so long that, obviously, it was nothing of importance to you.
Oh, thank you, Jane.
May I join you?
Certainly. Oh, Jane, could you bring another cup, please? Here, you can have this one.
Oh, thank you. I've just seen David. He says I can stay.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear it.
Oh, you mean you didn't hear it before I did? I'm disappointed. I'd hoped it was you who changed his mind. Wouldn't have been Paul Ross, would it?
I've no idea.
I wonder. Paul Ross. He's not so bad, I suppose.
Look, you'll have to excuse me. I've got all this to get through.
Go ahead. Such a problem. I always reward men who help me, if their help's been welcome. Are you sure it wasn't you?
Had it been me, I would have received more than adequate reward the other night in your chalet. You would have no reason to consider giving me more.
Oh, I don't know. I always find there's so much pleasure in giving, don't you? Thanks for the coffee. I'll see you later.
Well, as obviously you're more familiar with incompetence as we are, we can only learn from your expertise.
I must remember that one.
Yes, well, I shall put down in writing exactly what our requirements will be, and if you feel that you can't meet them, then we'll go somewhere else. Good afternoon. You wanted Cat and got me.
Poor man.
So, quite a parry and a thrust over a towel dispenser, I can tell you. However...
Yes, this dinner you've invited us to.
Dinner?
Tomorrow night with the Pollard, yeah?
Oh, goodness, that dinner. You got me going for one moment. Yes, well, what about it?
Well, firstly, thank you very much for the invitation. Secondly, how formal is it going to be?
Formal?
What are you going to wear?
Oh, well, I haven't given it much thought.
You'll just slip into a little something by Christian Dior, I suppose. Yes.
What can she mean? Danica, come as you like.
But dungarees are out, yes?
Oh, I don't know. A pair of gold lamy ones will get by at a pinch.
Remember that? Ah, the very man.
Oh, I wouldn't ask him. He hasn't got a clue.
What about?
Dungarees.
No, it's Di. She seems to have gone rather quiet recently. I usually get the odd postcard, the odd phone call, but
Maybe she's otherwise engaged.
I'd get a full report on that. But isn't she due back soon?
I've no idea. J. Henry fixed it. Better ask him.
Well, could you have a word with him, please? Because I really would like to know.
Yes, of course.
Thank you ever so much. See you. Okay.
I need you in the office for 2 minutes, alone.
Oh, you mean my luck has changed at last? Just hold on a minute. I've got to get through to Kath. Talk to her about some towel dispensers.
Ah, David. Now, I don't mind keeping quiet about the fact that you have now remembered that you forgot your wedding anniversary, but how long are you going to risk keeping quiet from Barbara?
No, I'm interested to see if she's a woman like all women.
Well, if you haven't noticed that she's perfectly normal after 3 years of marriage, I don't suppose you ever will.
Yeah, it's fascinating. How long a woman can go on, silently holding something against a man when she's actually bursting to tell him what it is.
You're a sadist.
Me? Who's shoving the needles in?
Who forgot the anniversary?
Who's going to make it up to her?
You are next year. Right, if anybody needs me, I shall be in the garage.
Battery flat again?
I don't know what's flat. I never do. Except tires, the bumping tells me.
Oh, just coming in. Well, I must say you've done a great job protecting Richard from Lucy. She was out there sharing his coffee with him. Quite a domestic scene. Mind you, any sign of domesticity around this place doesn't go amiss.
Yes, there are pollards at arm's length, and so are we.
Arms is the right word for the pollards. I think poles is a better one for us. Yes, poles apart.
There is another difference. The pollards both know what they're carving one another up about. I've no idea why we are.
You never will now.
Do you intend to spend the rest of our married life holding that against me?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Just a minute. We have to arrange a very important dinner date.
Oh, yes, I know about that. Tomorrow night. I've already booked the table.
I don't mean tomorrow night, I mean this evening. There's something we have to face together.
Mm-hmm.
Just change for dinner. Be ready to eat at 8:30, or, I mean this very seriously, there'll be trouble.
Perhaps I should go on a course. Car maintenance or something.
Why don't you?
Oh, it'd never stay in my silly head. Mind you, I do look a trifle foolish trying to kick the car when it won't start.
And painful.
And for some reason it doesn't work either. Now, are you going to guarantee me that everything is perfect?
Well, the timing was out. That seemed to be the trouble. And it did start first time for me.
You've got green fingers.
Are you colourblind?
How much do I owe you?
That's down to Sharon.
Oh, everything's down to Metcalfe in this place. What's the trouble?
20,000-mile service.
Oh, dear. Take out a second mortgage.
Oh, it's going to be that bad, is it?
Well, do you want me to figure it out now?
No, you work it out in your own sweet time and let me know.
And try stop kicking it. Paintwork comes very expensive.
Yeah, and so do shoes and everything.
Good night.
No,
Night.
Sorry, kicking what?
Oh, joke.
Ah, jokes I can do with. A whole string of them for this beastly dinner party tomorrow night. If things get serious, I shall get lost.
Oh, rubbish.
You're not coming, are you?
No. I was invited, but only as an afterthought by David, and I am nobody's afterthought. So I invented Audrey Parker Bowles. She's having a lot of trouble with her bring and buy.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
We live in different worlds.
We do indeed.
Anyway, I would have made it uneven.
What?
The numbers.
Does that matter?
Well, 3 couples and I'm the odd girl out. No, thank you.
Well, no, I'm going to be the odd girl out.
Oh, don't be silly. Anyway, David and Barbara mean well.
Oh, I know. They're trying to treat us like an ordinary couple, but...
Well, aren't you?
Well, yes, of course we are, very much so. But it's the first time we've been invited out together, and that brings a few butterflies, you know?
Butterflies are nice. With me, it's moths. It's ages since I've been invited out.
You were asked out to this?
Yeah, but where I'm even, instead of odd.
Thank you. "10 minutes late. In your current mood, I expected 20.
Well, I I assumed we'd meet in the bar, darling.
I've ordered what we'll have for an aperitif.
What we'll have?
Excuse me.
Oh, I wanted a vodka and tonic.
It wouldn't go with the first course.
Oh, never mind, it'll do. You're not only being forgetful, but psychic these days.
Psychic?
You seem to be able to divine exactly what I shall have for my first course before I've actually decided myself.
Oh, no, we won't need those. Thank you. We'll both have the chef's special soup, followed by the Doverso grilled. Thanks.
And I don't want any pudding. I'd like to have cheese, please. I don't want the chef's special soup.
Do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
And how do you know you don't want it?
I know what the fish is, and I don't want the fish.
It's the only course that'll go with the soup. Amazing. I mean, have the sense to let me order the wine, but not the food.
I want red wine, and red wine doesn't go with the fish.
Wrong, in fact, depending on the fish. So happens I've ordered white.
Are you trying to dominate me?
If you feel I have not succeeded, you'll no doubt refuse to look at that when I tell you to. Go on, open it, look. You'll find an inscription somewhere. Any idea what it might say?
Happy wedding anniversary?
You see, I remembered. Trouble was, the jeweler didn't. He was late delivering it because of the inscription.
True.
No.
Gail, when David and Barbara come out of dinner, just tell them that I've gone home. Okay?
Yes, Mrs. Harvey.
Hello? Yes, who is it? Oh, I'm fine. How are you? Oh, I see. Yes, I'll reserve your chalet. No, David and Barbara, they're just finishing dinner. Goodbye.
It's all right. Don't look at him like that. He's out of the doghouse. Look at that.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, such enthusiasm.
Wedding anniversary present.
Adam just rang.
Oh, from where?
Cyprus. He's coming to the AGM. I've got to reserve him a chalet.
Was he on for long?
You know, I told Valerie yesterday that he means nothing to me, but now suddenly hearing his voice without warning. I just don't believe it.